just going through your packet to make sure you know what should have been done. Page 1 and page 2 and page 3 and page 4, 5, and the top part of 6. So you did not have to do these down at the bottom here. If you want to draw a line through them. You should have done page 7. That was independent practice. Can you please be quiet? You should have done page 8 and 9. You should have done page 10. That was independent work. No one's asking you right now. You should have done page 11, page 12, and 13. All that should be done. We did not do page 14. So if you wanted to use that as extra practice, go for it, but you did not need to do page 14. We did do page 15 and 16 together. You should have also done page 17 as independent practice. We did page 18 and page 19. You should have done page 20 as independent practice. We did page 21 and most of 22. We didn't worry about the bottom here. You should have done most of 23. You probably didn't need to worry about the bottom there either. Can you please be quiet? And then we did not worry about dividing whole numbers or decimals. Page 28 was optional. We did do pages 29 and the top of page 30. We crossed the bottom out. We did not do page 31 or 32, but we did do page 33, 1 through 12. So we did not worry about the last 3. And we did not do the last page. All right, so those pages should be done. Today, you are working on the review. I need you to work quietly. I need you to try these. I need you to refer back to your notes, both in your packet as well as in your workbook, right? We have been doing, what module are we in? We've been doing module, I want to say 4. Why does that sound wrong though? Yes, we are doing module 4. So that starts on page 177. So write this on here in case you need to refer back to your book tomorrow. We did page 177 through, well, actually, this is just multiplying and dividing. Scratch that. We did adding and subtracting on the first quiz. So it's a much shorter area. We started on page 203. Okay, and this is the last time I'm talking to you. It needs to stop. Page 203 to 219 in your book, and then you have some work in your packet as well. Okay, questions, concerns before I pause the video for you to work on your review independently? I'm going to use the last 10 minutes or so to go over what you should be doing. Tomorrow the quiz looks very similar.
What if I fail? That's up to you. Nobody was talking. You just said you were talking about
All right. Remember, you need to change to all fractions or all decimals, but you can only do decimals if it's not repeating. So if you're more comfortable multiplying, you need to show work. If you're using your calculator, show me what you're putting into your calculator. All right. These show as fractions. If you would prefer to do them as decimals, some of them you could. You cannot do that with number 3 though. So 1/4 times 3/8. I would just multiply across. There's nothing no factors I can divide them both by. So I'm just multiplying across. Can you please shut your mouth? I've asked you multiple times to be quiet. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 8 is 32. It's not divisible by anything, so that's how it would be. If you did it the other way, you would have said, remember to change a fraction to a decimal, 1 divided by 4, that's probably one you should know, times 3 divided by 8. You only need to do one way or the other. That's fine. All fractions is perfect. You can always do them as fractions. You cannot always do them as decimals. Why are we still talking? Did I do something wrong or is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Okay. 0.09375. Great timing, yeah. Wait for it. 10 times 1 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Keaton, please stop. Remember, this is negative. Times 2/5. So you can simplify across this diagonal and take out a 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you're left with negative 11/25. That's as simplified as that gets. If you did this by decimal, you would have gotten negative 44/100. You would have said negative 1 1/10 times 4/10. And you would have gotten negative 44/100. All right, now here, you cannot change these to decimals because 1/3 is a non-terminating decimal. So you have to do these as fractions. The denominator times the whole number. Please be quiet. 3 times 3 is 9, plus the 1 on top makes 10. So I have negative 10/3 times 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So negative 9/2 or negative 9 seconds. Now I would highly suggest simplifying before you multiply. So what could I take across this diagonal?
5.
Not 5. I can take out a factor of 2. So this is negative 5. This is 1. I can take out a factor of 3 across here. This is 1. This is 3. I'm left with, sorry, this should be negative 3. I'm left with positive 15/1, which is what? 15. So make sure you simplify. Guys, what is it going to take, Jaden? What's it going to take? for you to please be quiet. All right, I can divide. Remember, we're going to rewrite this. We have to keep the first the same. We're changing the division to multiplication, and we are flipping the fraction. It becomes 8/3. Now it's important that you simplify. You cannot change this to decimals because you have 8/3, but I guess you could say 0.25 divided by 3/8. That would work. You could say this divided by that in your calculator. But once you're in this part, you're gonna take out a factor of 4, 1 and 2. So 2/3 should be your answer. How would I rewrite -12 as a fraction?
12/1.
Excellent. So I have -12/1. Now I have to change my division to multiplication and then flip my fraction. So it becomes -3/2. Cameron, please stop. Now I'm going to take out a factor of 2 here, making this a 6 and this a 1. And then I simply have negative times negative is positive. Got 18/1, which is equal to 18. This is one that you could change, 6.5 divided by -5 2/10. So if you put that in, you would have 6.5 divided by -5.2. -1 1/4. So that's what we're going to look for with our fraction. So 2 times 6 plus the 1 makes 13 halves. I'm still going to keep this as division for now. I have 5 times Cameron. It's really obnoxious. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. Now I have to keep, change to multiplication, and flip. We have a negative times a positive, so we know our answer is going to be negative. I can take out a factor of 13 here, once, twice. So I have -5/4, which is -1. Whole group of 4 comes out of there with a remainder of 1. So either way, we get the same answer. 1's in decimal, 1 is in.
I did something wrong.
Uh-oh.
Just basically -1.
All right, we've got a few more minutes. We need to finish these up. Remember, the first thing we're going to do is rewrite the problem with parentheses in place of our letters. And then we're going to put in what our letters equal. These I cannot change to decimals because this is a repeating decimal. So I have to change them all to fractions. I have 1/4 times -2/3. If I know how to read this, I know it is 3/10. So that's what I'm going to write it as. Now I would spend my time simplifying. I'm going to take a 2 out of here and here. A 3 out of here and here. I'm left with 1 on the top divided by 20 or 1/20. Number 8, I'm doing the same thing. I have something divided by. Remember that fraction bar means divided by. So I have H is -2/3. Y is still 3/10. Again, I can't change this to a decimal because it's a repeating decimal. So I have to change them both to fractions. So I have -2/3. Read this from top to bottom, divided by 3/10. Now I have to keep my first, change to multiplication, and flip my decimal. So I have -20/9. How many groups of 9 could I take out? 2. Remember, it's still negative. 8. That's 18, right? So I have a remaining of 2/9. Oops, sorry. Please make sure your packet's ready to go. You're going to turn that in along with this review tomorrow when you take your quiz. Please stack your stuff up neatly. You got just about a minute.